Hello everyone, welcome to this Sims 3 Create a World video. So today we're here on episode 7, which last video I said would be the final episode before I release the world. And I think the time before that in episode 5 I said, there'd only be one more episode until the world was released. Well, as things tend to go, I was wrong. This is not going to be the last episode before the world is released because I make some significant changes in this episode that I did not plan on doing. So yes, but I am very confident that next episode will actually be the final one because there's really not much more to do. So I'll kind of just give you a rundown of the feedback I received in the last episode and then what I did in this episode to address it. So one of the things that was mentioned in the comments from the last video was that this island over here was too flat and then it looked kind of like a pancake. So I came back and I kind of added this raised area and more like a cliffy kind of part over by where the lots are, which I work on a bit more as well. I smooth that out too. And someone pointed out the obvious that where I put this school, or where I intended to put the school, is a really bad place, which I completely agree with. So I removed the lot for the school from that area and replaced it with 2 other lots. And I intend on putting some like late night community lots there. Like I think they have different like types of bars and stuff. So I think that will be better. And the lot that I'm placing in right now is where the school will end up going. So it's kind of right in the middle of the residential area, which makes way more sense. And to accommodate this kind of like new placement of the school, and just because I thought that things looked a bit strange, like the road layout looked a bit strange, the main thing that I changed this episode is the road layout. So we're basically focusing on not on this town center, that doesn't change at all. It's more the road layout over on the like other side of the island from the town center. And I don't change too many lots because I kind of worked mainly in the area where there are no lots. So I just kind of changed the way roads connect to each other. It just kind of made it make more sense. And right here I'm just struggling to get this ridiculous pathway to connect. It was very annoying, but I do succeed in the end. I just kind of wanted a pathway from the school to go to this road, and my goodness, it was just not it was not making it easy for me. But pretty much what I also do, which isn't on camera, excuse me, what I also do that's not on camera is some terrain paint work. I do some terrain paint and then some terraforming that I don't record because it was just kind of just touch up stuff. And I also like removed all the different kinds of trees and stuff that were like kind of like embedded in the ground from like me changing the terrain. I think I missed some. I'll go back and get them. So you probably will notice some that I haven't caught yet. And yeah, so I also put in houseboat lots off camera as well. So you'll see those in the screenshots because that's not really a process that's very interesting to see because it's more just going into the game and like going into buy debug and like placing a port down. So it's not that exciting. So one thing I wanted to ask is, so last time I mentioned that I was considering posting uploading a version of the world with that requires some expansions and then one base game version. So I've worked out from a really handy list on the Sims wiki that someone linked in the comment or left a link to that in one of the comment sections of I think a few episodes ago. And that was really helpful because it helped me determine what items came from where, because Create a World doesn't tell you. And I also went into the Sims 3 as well and looked around Sunset Valley and kind of went into edit town mode and to see like what items they used so I could use the same ones. So this world doesn't require too many expansions. It's going to require Late Night and Island Paradise, and that'll be it. So is it well, basically what I want to know is how many of you have Late Night and Island Paradise? So, I mean, that's all you would need, and whether it's worth me going in and changing it to make a base game version. So, I mean, it probably wouldn't be that much effort, but I just want to get some feedback on how valuable that would be. So, yeah. Anyway, here I'm just adjusting the roads. You can probably already tell what's happened. I'm not going to I do change it some more. I move this intersection back and kind of connect everything up to it neatly. Basically, I'm just reducing the number of intersections. And like the thing that I had the problem with is it's like a lot of pointless roads before. Like in real life, you'll have roads that like go places, So like I have like two larger roads that kind of like go around the edge of the island, and then I kind of wanted to make roads that just connected those two instead of having like three different roads that like you had to keep going through all these different intersections to get from place to place, which is kind of weird. So yeah, and then over here I removed one of the connections, or I removed the road that connected this whole area over here to the rest of the island and moved it over to the intersection across from the bridge, so that this, and you'll see what I do with the terrain soon, because I was looking at the island as a whole and I was like, it just like there's that one mountain and that one like kind of raised area where that 64 by 64 lot is on the opposite side, but the rest of it was very flat looking, and I was like, it just doesn't look quite right. So I expand the mountainous area further into the area between where the road kind of splits off here. So like right here's the intersection where the road splits into two different directions. So I make it look like the road has a reason for being the way it is. So it looks like, the road is going around the really hilly area, which I thought made a lot more sense than the roads just being completely random. And this layout just works better. I also wanted to talk about like the number of lots, because I removed some lots in this process, but I added some more as well. And I came to realize that the amount of lots in this world is really quite insane, and I'm wondering whether I should remove some or not. So the final count, because I don't, like at the end of this episode, like pretty much I'm done with lot placement and it's pretty much final. And it ends up having 124 lots is the final count. To put that into perspective, Sunset Valley had 92 lots, Riverview had 95, and Isla Paradiso from Island Paradise had 118. So this island is 124, and it's significantly smaller than all of those worlds, which is kind of crazy. I don't know how, because it doesn't feel like there's also still some empty space that I was like, oh, should I like leave this space empty or not? And I wasn't sure. But now I'm like, how did I manage to fit 124 lots in this tiny world? I don't know, but it's pretty crazy. So yeah, there's 124 lots. I don't see it like that being a bad thing. So I'm probably not going to remove any, but just to keep in mind, that's probably more lots than any of the worlds that EA made that came with any expansion or any store world. I think it's more than pretty much any of them, because Island Paradise came with Isla Paradiso, which was a pretty big world. Like, it was a huge world, and that had 118 lots. It had 6 slots less than this world. So yeah, and here you can see me raising the terrain. So speaking of terrain and lots, there was a comment that asked whether there would be some cliff lots or hilly lots. So there was actually quite a few hilly lots already, but I added in some more. And on the cliff lot subject, I decided I would go for, well, they're not really cliff lots. You'll see they end up being more like mountainside lots. So I add a road up the side of the big mountain here and put 3 lots that are kind of on a very extreme slope. It's not like a vertical cliff, but it's definitely very hilly. Like, the lots are very hilly, and that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to work out how to get, also this was really challenging to get the road to get up there and not look really dumb. So yeah, but that's what we're working on here. And I was also, this is not related to what I'm doing on the screen, but I was also just looking, messing around and trying to figure out what rabbit holes I wanted to use once I get into the rabbit hole phase of this project, which will be pretty soon, if next episode is indeed the final one before the blank version is finished. And I actually changed my mind. So before I was considering using Island Paradise rabbit holes for a lot of things, but I decided I'm not going to do that because I discovered that Pets and Supernatural have actually really good rabbit holes. So I'm probably going to use the Supernatural City Hall, which is also a police station and military base, because it just it has like this really old building look. Like, it looks like a building that could have been built in the 1800s, and it's like has a big tower and it's all stone, and I feel like it kind of fits in with the theme of this island. And the hospital from Supernatural also works really well too for this world. And I'm going to probably use this school from Pets because that includes the stadium already and works really well. And one concern that I had, especially when I was building out the main town square part of the world. And here's those hilly lots, as you can see. So these lots are pretty hilly, I would say. I mean, of course, it could even be more extreme than that, but I think this is pretty good, and I don't want it to look too absurd. So, yeah, I think those are kind of fun lots. And over here, I also put a couple lots on this hill too. So, yeah, there's already one over there. You can see on the left side, kind of, and then I put another one in. So, yeah, definitely gonna get some interesting lots in this world. And I think at this point is when I terrain paint off screen. Or no, I guess not. Oh, maybe we just switched to a different scene. But so right now I completely changed the subject. But right now what we're going to be doing here is streetlights. So I complete putting in all of the streetlights, all of the traffic lights, and in well, actually I put in very few traffic lights. Mostly I put in yield signs because apparently there's no stop signs. I don't know why the game doesn't have stop signs, but I put yield signs at pretty much every intersection, so there's correct signage everywhere. So all the streetlights, and another thing about the streetlights, I only put the streetlights on the areas where there's sidewalks. So on the streets that don't have sidewalks, I don't put streetlights. I don't know how realistic that is to like an island like Nantucket or something, but I imagine like the smaller streets that were away from the town center may not have streetlights, because like at least where I live, like my neighborhood has streetlights, but there's a lot of streets around here that just don't, and like the smaller streets just don't. So, I was just thought, oh, like the main parts of the island will have them, and then the other areas just won't. So, I mean, if anyone is massively opposed to that, I could put streetlights in the other places, but I didn't think it was really necessary. Anyway, back to what I was talking about rabbit holes. So, or not rabbit holes, just community lots in general. So I was putting in the town center. I was like, there's so many community lots I have, and like a lot of them are very small. Like a lot of them aren't really big enough to really fit a rabbit hole, or there's just like not enough rabbit holes in the game to fill all these lots. So I was thinking about what I could put in. I realized there's like so many community lot types that came with different expansions, and I could do, and also like the base game ones too. Like the base game has like, you can have like a community pool, of course, like the library, the museum, the gym, like those things, and then of course a graveyard. I have a special place at the graveyard already, and then like the stuff from like Ambitions had like laundromat, fire station, salon. I'll probably try to put all those in, and like late night came with like bars and stuff. I already said I wanted to put those in too by the industrial area. I'm considering like putting in like converted warehouses over there, like to make like into restaurants and bars and stuff. And speaking of that industrial port, someone has been leaving a lot of comments about me building or suggesting that I build a shipping container house by that area. So I placed in a lot specially for that over in the industrial area. So there's a lot that I have placed where I intend to build a shipping container house. Of course, that won't be coming for a long time, but there is a lot there for it. That's right in the industrial area. Oh, right. Ambitions also came with a junkyard. I plan on putting a junkyard in the industrial area too. And oh yeah, and like pets came with like a pet shop, and then there was like the store world that was like was it Midnight Hollow, came with like these rugs and like a cash register, so you could make your own store pretty much out of anything, like to sell anything. So I want to put some of those around too, and of course all these lots will be optional and like available for download separately, but that's kind of how I intend to fill out the world. Have like a bunch of like small little shops and like try to make it a complete world with like every type of community lot, because again, there's more lots in this world than pretty much any other world you're going to find that's already exists in the game. So there's plenty of a different variety to put in. So yeah. And right here we're just putting in some more streetlights, so that's exciting. And basically what I don't do in this episode, what's basically left to do, is a little bit more terrain painting, refining some like roads and lot connections, because there's some areas where it's like a little janky, or like I noticed when I was taking screenshots that this bridge is clipping into the terrain in some places, so I have to fix that. It's basically like small tweaks that I'll do off camera like that just to make sure that everything lines up. Probably, of course the lots line up, but I mean like, like terrain wise, like there might be like sharp edges and stuff I kind of want to go around and fix up. That kind of stuff still, needs to be done. That'll be like an off camera thing. I still need to name all the streets. I did not get a chance to look through the like majority of the street name suggestions, but I saw a bunch of them and they look really good. So thank you for providing that. Probably after I finish next episode, I'll go through and name all the or put addresses in for all the houses. So that's not happened yet. So if you still have any street name ideas, please leave them in the comments below. I'll probably create a list of names that I intend on using in the near future. So thank you for those of you who have suggested names. And what else was I going to say? Oh, right. So yeah, what else is left to do? Spawners. I need to put in spawners and like effects. I do like put in a wave, like a wave effect somewhere just because I wanted to test it out. But you know, like waves crashing on the beach. Different, like, I guess, like birds. I think there's like one for birds that like fly around and like I'm probably not gonna do the hot air balloon. I kind of hate the hot air balloon, but like things like that. And like you know, all the spawners for like collectibles, you know, rocks and like bugs and whatever else they have that are collectible things, plants, you know, those kind of things I need to put in. And then just some more like terrain paint and trees and like plants. That's it, really. Some guardrails, like on some more questionable roads that could be dangerous. But, you know, we're at the final stretch here. I don't intend on changing the roads. You know, like I've had 3 episodes of road changes that I did not plan for. Like I did not plan on changing the road textures and going back and redoing all the roads. And then I did not plan on all my roads not lining up because I didn't understand that you could rotate the grid and having to go back and redo them all again. And then, of course, I did not plan on redoing the layout of this whole part of the island and redoing those roads. I've like redone the roads like 3 times at this point. So I really don't want to touch the roads again because I'm very happy with how they are now. So I don't really want to mess that up. And I'm pretty happy with the terrain. I mean, of course, I'm still open to any feedback that you have, but, and you know, yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, hopefully next episode will be the final one before I can release the world, and I'll do some playtesting and stuff to make sure that it's not a horrible mess. But of course, and some people like offered to playtest it before I release it, but the main reason I'm releasing it now as a blank world is so everyone can get an opportunity to playtest it and find bugs, you know, if you want to. So yeah, I just think getting as many people in on that as possible would be really helpful. And also because I don't have much more time to make videos, I kind of want to, because I only have like 1.5 weeks left before I have to go back, before my break is over. So I want to pre-record some videos for while I'm not here. So I kind of want to just get this world out, and yeah, that means that there probably won't be any newer versions for quite a while after I release this one, but yeah, but you're welcome I mean, any feedback is of course always welcome. So yeah, and here I'm just placing in some more trees. I'm going to put in like some more details later, not in this video, but like I intend on doing some more bushes and rocks and stuff as well. But yeah, and of course a lot of the island does not have trees anymore because I deleted some of them to edit the terrain. And oh yeah, and here I'm putting in some guardrails on this pretty dangerous road, so you know, you don't want to drive off that part of the road there. But yeah, so we're pretty much near the end here. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you in the next part. If this is the first of this series you're watching for some reason, there's a playlist that you could check out. It's on my channel. You can go back and watch the other ones. And yeah, and just keep an eye out for episode 8, which should be coming relatively soon. And yeah, so also yeah, enjoy the screenshots. And the first screenshot you'll see is of the houseboat, empty houseboat lots. There's 2. It's going to be 3 houseboat lots, so 2 will be residential, and 1 I plan on making a restaurant. So I think that'll be pretty cool. I put in kind of like a large barge houseboat, like the largest size houseboat that I think will be really good for a restaurant type of community lot area on the beach, kind of like near the town center. I think that'll be pretty cool. So yeah, but yes. So anyway, just putting in a few more lots that are kind of interesting. There's a kind of a hillside lot there, and just a few more things and stuff. I don't really know what I'm doing at this point. I thought the video was going to be over sooner than it's been, but you know, that tends to happen. Yeah. Oh yeah, I put in the houseboat lots over there, but I do, I make the houseboat, like, I put them at the ports off camera, because that's not a very interesting process, but yes. And I'm going to go back and edit the ports, don't worry. Like, you'll see in the screenshots, it's literally just a stilted foundation that goes into the water and the houseboat's connected to it. I'm going to make them look much better than that. That's just temporary, so that the houseboats are there at least. But anyway, now we are actually moments away from the screenshots, so I hope that you stick around for those, and I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you next time. I hope you all have a great day. Bye, everyone.